As you probably know, I'm not a tax advisor, and this is not financial advice. This is just my experience, the way I work with my accountant, and the way Skool talks about this themselves in their documentation. So the problem is many companies in Europe that want to do business and sell digital goods have a problem because they have to pay taxes um, in every single European country, depending on a couple of things, of course, depending on the fact whether you're doing things live with your clients or not. It's a bit complicated to the point that normally, if you would like to sell, let's say, a $1 community membership or a $5 community membership to 100 people, or let's say 1,000 people, the accountant prices, the costs for the accountants sometimes are higher than the actual money you would be getting from these memberships, right? And it's a big hassle because, like I said, of all the taxes, different countries, and then if you go outside of the EU, you have America, you have other countries, it's even more complicated. It's doable, and there are companies that you can work with that manage these things. But like I said, it's difficult. And usually whenever you dive into this and look into the internet, it's it's scary and you don't know what to do. And sometimes accountants, they don't know about these things, or their knowledge is outdated, or they never had to do anything with these things, and it's difficult. So that being said, Skool is an MOR, which means a merchant of record. And this is usually what companies that sell software do. They work with merchants of records so they don't have to deal with all these taxes and all these different countries, et cetera, et cetera. So what basically happens is if I'm selling software to different clients, I have an MOR that I'm working with that is usually also the payment processor, and they take responsibility for the payments. So my clients are not exactly my clients. They are the clients of this MOR, this merchant of record, which means that the merchant of record is the one that is actually sending the invoices. So, for example, a merchant of record would be Paddle. I think Lemon Squeezy is a merchant of record, and they work directly with payment processors like Stripe, for example. Well, Stripe now bought Lemon Squeezy, so I don't know how the relationship exactly is with that, but they are still a merchant of record. So when you buy software from a specific company, you actually get the invoice from the merchant of record. And sometimes they will say, I mean, sometimes, always, there's usually a little logo of that company somewhere, or something saying like services provided by this person, or support email is here. So if you need support for that specific product, well, you work directly with the company, the website you bought it from. But if you have problems with the payments, you usually go through the merchant of record. Sometimes if you work directly with that company and you tell them, hey, I want a refund, they will manually do it through the merchant of record because they have usually a panel. But if you go directly to the merchant of record, they usually can also solve your problem, right? If you want a refund, for example. And that's how Skool works. And this is the typical mistake I see people making. They look online, they read all these things, and people are already confused about merchants of records. They don't know. Sometimes they think that, maybe eBay is a merchant of record, or maybe this company is a merchant of record, where they are not. They're just like a payment processor, or they're a marketplace. Sometimes, which makes it even more complicated, there are companies that have a hybrid model. So they are a merchant of record and a third-party payment provider. So you can either just connect your Stripe account directly to them, or you can go through their payment processing. Sometimes you need to add a fee to that. And then they manage all the taxes for you. And all you need to do is just, sell your things, or, produce your things, your digital products that you can sell, put them on the platform. And that's kind of what Skool is. It's kind of a hybrid model, but the difference is from what I usually see, is it's a lot cheaper to go with them. So instead of using a third-party provider and connecting your and using your Stripe account separately from Skool, because you can do that. You don't have to take payments from Skool. You can set up your Skool to be paid, but not set up a payment method in Skool, and just sell people directly on your website or wherever, and then do the things manually or connect it through Zapier and take care of all the taxes and everything. But if you go directly through Skool, you do not have to manage the taxes of all of your clients, because you do not have clients at this point. You have only one client, which is Skool, because Skool acts as the merchant of record. All your members get invoices from Skool. They pay Skool for access to your community. It's your community, but you are not the seller. Skool is the seller to your members. Your members are their clients, and your client is Skool. And the way it works is, once Skool takes all the payments from the clients, and they have the payment, and you get your payout automatically every Wednesday, once a week, they issue you a reversed invoice. So normally, in normal businesses, usually the way it works is the person who is selling something to someone, they issue an invoice for the payment. But to simplify it, the way MORs usually work, merchant of records, is they take the payments and then they issue the invoice. Sorry, they give the payments, right, to me, and then they automatically issue the invoices. So they create something called a reversed invoice. So even though they send the invoices, if you look at the invoice, it will have their logo and everything on it. But if you really look deeper, it will say, to and from, and it will be as if you are the issuer. You take this invoice, you give it to your accountant, and they should know what to do with it. If they do not, just tell them what a merchant of record is and that this is a reversed invoice, and give them some time to do some research. They should be able to find out that you are right. Now, if they haven't ever done anything with this, they don't know about these things, they might get a little confused, but just work with them a little and you should be fine. So that is that. And in case you were wondering, there is an official help doc on Skool. So if you go to the support page, the help center here, you'll see this page called Subscriptions Payment Facts. And the most important things are here. We issue a reverse invoice for the payments that happen every Wednesday. So every Wednesday, the payments go out. It still might take some time for those payments to hit your bank account, because they go out from Skool to Stripe, and then Stripe sometimes takes some time to send the payment to your bank account. But it goes every Wednesday, like I said, and you will get a reverse invoice in your panel. And the VAT. So again, Skool is a merchant of record, and Skool handles the VAT sales tax compliance for you. You don't need to register for VAT or do anything. All VAT sales tax liability is on Skool, not you. And then again, if you're in the EU, the payouts from Skool to your VAT sales tax are VAT sales tax exempt, because Skool is a US company. When a customer is in the EU, Skool will automatically add VAT to the purchase price, capture it, and remit it to the government. So every time Skool works with your members, every time your members pay Skool for the subscription to your community, Skool takes care of all the taxes. And that is it. Now, the way you do this in Skool is, if you go to your settings, so this is my community settings, this is my free community, and you go to payouts, this is where you will have all the money collected from your members. And every time, it goes out, today is Wednesday, so in 7 days, theoretically, I would have a payout, and I would see that invoice here. And you can change the invoice by going to billing over here, manage subscription. over here, and then customize invoice. This is where you put the name of your company, the address of your company, and your tax ID. Now, remember, if you're doing business within the EU, you should have an EU VAT number. It's not the normal one. In Poland, you have a normal VAT number. You have a normal VAT number. And if you want the European one, it's kind of like an international one, you need to register for that. I'll try to find the link to that somewhere and put it in the description of this video. But you need to have that. And the difference is, once you register and people want to find your company and see if you're registered in the European, I think it's, I don't know if it's like a European or international system, they will find you. If you don't register, they will not find you in that system. And the difference is, normally you have a normal number, but once you register, you use your kind of European international number, which is usually the first letters of your the country code you have. So in case of Poland, I have PL, and then I have my VAT number. And that's what I would put in here. I would PL, and then I put in my VAT number, I type it out, and then click update. Now, the cool thing about this is if you did it incorrectly and you change it here, it will be fixed in the payouts page. And the way you find the help section is you go here, you go help center, and then just go ahead and type in VAT, hit, there you go. And this is the page I was talking about. That is it. If you have any questions, find me on Skool. You can join my community if you want, and I can go deeper to anything. But I think I basically, said everything. And again, the problem with this is there's a lot of conflicting information online because people don't understand what an MOR is, merchant of record, that takes responsibility. That is for processing the payments, but also for all the taxes and everything. The second problem is accountants. It's not novel, but if they've never dealt with software companies, they probably never had to deal with this issue. And the easiest way of making them understand, or even for you to understand, is if you use a third-party provider like Stripe to take the payments, everything is on you. If you use Skool, which is an MOR, and use their payments for it, all the taxes are on them. They are your client. Your members are their clients. That's it. Thanks for watching. If you want to start your own community, please check out the referral link in the description for a 14-day free trial of Skool.